Hi everyone, I'm Key,
And I'm Bailey.
and we're coming at you from the
From the
box.
box.
So it's been a while, and a lot has happened since we've last hung out with you guys. So this is what this is. We're just hanging out here, right?
We're just hanging out.
Exactly. But a lot has happened in the hockey world specifically. But you know what? None of that really matters right now because right now it's the playoffs. And I'm sure that we could kind of do a quick little recap of like the last weeks of like the season, but honestly, it was so long ago. And like I don't remember, like the Sharks probably were losing. And
Kraken definitely were.
but yeah, like we haven't talked to you guys since like February, I think. Or no, yeah, February. And a lot has happened since then, and I don't think it's beneficial to just go through everything that we've missed, especially because like so many games have happened since then, and it was just like whatever. So I just think that we're just gonna jump in and just talk about the playoffs, and some fun little PWHL stuff also that's happening like right now as we speak. But we'll start off with the playoffs because it's the most relevant, and you know I'm sure everyone's desperate for our hard hitting thoughts.
Or lack
um
thereof.
yeah, so true. So you couldn't tell what team I'm cheering for. The Sharks, obviously.
Of
they're
course.
they're gonna win the whole
It's
thing.
actually the Devils. I know you just want one of those wag jackets.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Actually, let's dedicate a whole other episode to that actually, because I do want to pull Alexi and go through all of those with you, but maybe we can
Yeah.
talk about them next episode.
Yeah.
Um Next hockey episode. Um oh yeah, I guess so we'll talk about it a little bit in the next episodes, but while we've been gone, we've just been kind of brainstorming a different structure for our episodes. So we'll be spending a little bit less time doing recaps, a little bit more time actually talking about random stuff and actually talking about those hard-hitting topics. Like wag jackets, for example. So stay tuned for that. But because it's been so long, we just figured that like we would just kind of do a little here's what we forgot to cover while we've been away or didn't get to cover while we've been away, as our first few episodes back, and then we'll kind of get back into the new structure. Um, but yeah, everyone can see what's going on over here. I say like they can respond to me. So nothing is going the way that I've predicted so far, guys. I think like 5 out of 8 of my predictions are not coming true. So as you can see, we're in the first round right now, and I haven't super been paying attention to any of these teams in the regular season, but I have for sure been paying attention to them in the playoffs. I've been watching every game. And oh yeah, I'll just go through them with you. Okay, so obviously right now we have Winnipeg and St. Louis. I have Winnipeg, of course, slated to win. Between Dallas and Colorado, I thought that Colorado would blow Dallas out of the water. And then same with Vegas and Minnesota. Like to me, it seemed a no-brainer. I was like, okay, obviously Vegas is gonna has this in the bag, dude. The Kings and the Oilers. Uh, this one I kind of let my own personal bias slip through. I chose this one based off of a little bit of based off of who I'd rather the Jets meet later on, as you can see. But I did think that this one would be more of an evenly matched matchup. The tiebreaker, I guess, was like who would I rather the Jets beat up later on. And then on the East, we have Toronto and Ottawa, the Battle of Ontario. And I have Toronto winning that one. Sorry, Sens. And then I have the Lightning and the Panthers, and I have the Lightning taking that one. And then Caps and the Habs, I have Washington taking that. And then finally, the series that I think is the most unfair, we have Carolina and the Devils, and I have Carolina taking that one as well. Devils off to a really rough start. Lots of injuries. They're good
So
players.
many.
So many. Like literally like game one, I think. like 3
There's
players
just been
were
a lot
already.
of injuries in general in the playoffs lately.
It's true,
Like,
but
kicking
yeah.
it off, it's been crazy.
It's pretty ugly out there. But yeah, like the Devils went into this series already not having Jack Hughes. And then on the first game, game 1, they like 3 players left the ice injured. One of them was literally I think one of them was also Luke Hughes. Like
Yeah, it
they're not
was.
having a good time. But yeah, my reasonings for these pickings, Winnipeg, obviously I want them to win. I just figured that like Dallas, like I just figured that like Colorado was a stronger team. Same with the Vegas. I just figured that like Minnesota hasn't really been that. I mean, maybe I'm biased because every time that Winnipeg versus Minnesota we beat them, but like they just haven't seemed impressive
Every
to
time the
me.
Kraken they lost, so
Yeah, well, they just haven't seemed that impressive to me, and, like, Vegas has been in the playoffs, like, 6 out of their 7 years or 7
yeah.
out of their 8 years or one of those 2, so that's what I thought, and then, yeah, I kinda mentioned it again where, like, to me, I could see either team winning, so I just chose based off who I want, Winnipeg to meet later. Unfortunately, like, I don't obviously want the Leafs to advance, but, like, logistically speaking, they are the stronger team out of this matchup here. The 2 Floridas are also, like, seemed pretty, on par with each other,
They
and
are, yeah.
so I just kind of picked even though Florida won the cup last year, I just picked Lightning because they like, this year, they seemed like the stronger team. And then same with, like, Washington and Montreal, I was just like, Washington was, like, 2nd in the league, sometimes 1st even, like, Winnipeg and Washington were, like, constantly competing for 1st and 2nd, so I was like, "I feel like Washington's probably gonna take that one." And then, yeah, Carolina, I'm like, I feel like New Jersey is so out of their depth here, you guys, I feel like they don't belong here, and I feel really bad for the fact that they are here.
I'm
Um
gonna insert in post the,
Mhm.
how many times they've fallen this year,
Yeah, it's a
'cause I
funny
think that's an
little
important
it's
stat,
an important statistic.
especially in relation to that.
It's true. But they did win one, actually, so good for them.
Mhm.
Um, so they didn't get totally swept. And actually, same with the Battle of Ontario here. Ottawa won one, so they avoided getting swept also for now. Yeah, I think Dallas is leading Colorado, and the Wild are like super leading Vegas, which is crazy. Um, the Kings and Oilers game is on right now, actually, and I think that the Kings are winning 2-1. The Leafs are winning 3-1. I actually don't know what the score is for Lightning and the Panthers, but I think Florida was winning. Like I think Florida's maybe winning 2-1 as well. The Capitals, however, have been beating Montreal so far, but I think they had a game yesterday or maybe even earlier too. I can't remember. And then yeah, the Hurricanes are beating the Devils 3-1 as well. Like the Devils just avoided getting swept, I think, which was cool. For the conference finals, I have my dream is that Winnipeg and Edmonton will meet each other, and the Lightning and Washington will meet each other. And then in the final standoff, I have Winnipeg and Washington, and we've done really well every time that we've faced Washington. So obviously, I'm biased, but like Winnipeg wins the cup. But I don't know. As everybody knows, Winnipeg has not done great in St. Louis, but they're back in the Canada Life Center on Wednesday, and they typically do really well at home. So hopefully they have a fire under their asses,
They need one.
and don't hopefully they beat the allegations because I actually am gonna drop them if they I'm actually gonna drop them if they lose this series.
They played the last 2 games so
So
badly.
badly. Okay, this is my, like, conspiracy theory. I have 2 conspiracy theories about this. On the like, one half of my brain is like, they just played so shit. Like, they just played so shit. But on the other half of my brain, I'm like, okay, I have 2 conspiracy theories. So one conspiracy theory is that in game 3, the first game in St. Louis where they played like shit, they didn't have Dylan DeMello because he was sick, and his absence was very noted. And so one of my conspiracy theories is that everybody was sick, but he was just the one who was too sick to play. And this was, like, kind of, like not confirmed because it's still a conspiracy theory, but, like, it was kind of alluded to in some of the comments and interviews and stuff like that of, like, people kind of mentioning or, like, rumors that, like, everybody was kind of sick. So that's interesting to me, especially because, like, in other times when, like, a player has been sick, like, it's hit multiple players just because, like, they're in such close quarters with each other, like, they play
Yeah.
together, they're in dressing rooms together, like, sometimes they're, like, rooming together, like,
Share water bottles.
exactly, and so, like, it's not too far-fetched to think that, like, whatever DeMello had, like, maybe a lot of other people had, but, like, he was too down to actually play, and the rest of them were still sick, but, like, good enough to play. So that's one of my conspiracy theories. And my other conspiracy theory, which isn't really well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy theory, I just would say it's a theory. But it's a theory that the Jets are procrastinators. And this is one I actually
Mhm.
have backup for because in games where they're kind of down, it's like they don't try, or even games where they're, like, kind of up, they, like, don't really actually hit their stride until, like, the last 10 or so minutes of the 3rd period, like, the last possible second, and it's almost like they kind of are, like, conserving their energy for the first 2 periods, and even if that means that they're down a bit, and then they hit the other team super hard for the last 10 minutes of the 3rd and then come out on top. My theory is that something on a larger scale to this has happened in this series, in that game 4 didn't immediately go their way, and they all kind of decided to just collectively write it off, and instead use it as an opportunity to conserve their energy, let St. Louis tire themselves out and gas themselves up, and then just be like, "You know what? We'll conserve our energy, they can wallop us for this, like, they can wallop us for these 2 games, and then we usually play really good at home, and, like, when we have home ice advantage, like, we're really good, so, like, let's just, like, conserve our energy and play like shit for these 2 games, and then really bring it on game 5 and get the game like, get us back in the lead." Again, I don't deign to understand what the fuck's going on with those guys, but, like, it's a theory that, like, is funny to me because, like, it's on a smaller scale, like, in a single game scale, it's something that I've seen them do before. So, like, obviously, whatever, but, like, and it's the playoffs, so, like, you would hope that they would just bring their A game every time, but, like, you can also kinda see them, like, not doing stuff that they normally would be doing, and so, like, my tinfoil hat is, like, they're just choosing not to do anything, which I think sucks, but, like, whatever.
And their one goal today was so messy.
I know.
Like, it was such a
It is so
mess.
crazy. I'll see if I can find a video of it. I'll m maybe post.
Maybe. But the
Um
thing is, like, Jets goals,
Mhm,
in my, like, limited experience,
mhm,
are very they're very planned out.
mhm, so
And you can,
true.
like you can see them happening
Mhm, you can see
before
the
they
gears
happen and,
turning.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
as they
yeah.
happen, right?
Totally, yeah, yeah.
The goal today
Mhm.
was not that.
It was crazy.
It was so messy. It was so
Mhm,
like, it was just so
mhm. They've
messy.
been super discombobulated for sure.
There's a
Uh,
missing piece.
yeah. Gabriel Vilardi and Nikolai Ehlers. For those who aren't super keeping up with the Jets, 2 of our really good guys are injured. Gabe Vilardi did come with them on the road trip to St. Louis, and he was, like, skating in, like, morning skates and, like, like, warm-ups and stuff like that, but he hasn't played yet. Nikolai Ehlers, he did not come to St. Louis, which infers that he's too injured to like, we're probably not gonna see him for a while, which sucks because he's good. But, anyways, the thing, though, that I'm sure everybody is on everybody's mind, the topic of playoff Hellebuck. And, if this is just who he is. 2 seasons does not a pattern make, but it's not great that it's a somewhat recurring thing. The thing I think that is on everybody's mind is, do we play Comrie on Wednesday, or do we play Hellebuck on Wednesday? And my thing is that one thing that I didn't like about last season against Colorado was that I think we played Brossoit too late. I think that we played him on the last possible game that we could have played him, and I'm glad that we did, but I think that we should have like, I think it came too late is what I'm trying to say, basically. I think that there is benefit to giving Hellebuck a day to just get his bearings, like, settle himself, like, he just has seemed really frazzled, and even last year too, like, he just seemed really shaken up. And so, like, I think it could benefit him to just, like, take a day, dude, like, sit out, like, or let it motivate him, like, he has to sit on the bench in the playoffs and consider the fact that, like, he's being sat right now, and, like, let that light a fire under his ass, and, like, I don't know. So, the thing is, like, there's 2 risks. It's a risk either way. You risk playing Hellebuck on Wednesday for game 5, which is gonna be the tiebreaker game. You risk playing Hellebuck and hope that home ice, the whiteout, he performs really well at home, all this stuff. Like, you hope that that's gonna be the perfect recipe and he will show up again, or do you risk in the tiebreaker game playing Eric Comrie, and who I don't know if he's actually started in a playoff game before. I'll have to look that up and see, because I don't actually know if he has or not. But, like, potentially start someone who's never started in a playoff game before in a tiebreaker game. But he has done really well for us. Like, it's not like, no offense, Bailey, but it's not like if, like, Joey Daccord was not performing or whatever. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
we have no other option but Grubauer, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Eric Comrie is quite
He's
good.
he's been doing really well because he started the season and he ended up, like, improving a lot.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, he's
Cause
had 1 or 2 shutouts, I think, this
yeah.
season. Like, he's doing pretty good. He's doing well. And yeah, like, I think I would be worried. Oh, hey, buddy. I think it would be worried if,
If you didn't have another option.
yes, exactly. I think I would be worried if our backup was shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would be worried if we had a Grubauer as our backup.
Yeah.
Then I would be
Or
like, I
if,
don't.
like, Chris Drieger was your only other option.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because you guys
exactly.
have Drieger as your third,
Yes, totally.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, he has more experience too
Mhm.
than, like, Misia and stuff, but
Mhm.
you have a proven goalie.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think they should have played him today,
Yes.
or they should have played him the game before.
Mhm.
But
Yes, agreed. But yeah, so I don't envy the coaching staff right now because it really is just like a gamble either way. Like, you're taking a risk either way. Like, technically there's less of a risk, I guess, in playing Hellebuck because he does perform well at home. But also we have, like, evidence that, like, when he lets 1 or 2 in a row like that,
he
like
gets
last.
super into his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tough. And, like, but whatever happens, like, yeah, I just don't want them, like, I personally, I'm of 2 minds where I genuinely think that, like, I think that Hellebuck could benefit from taking a game, but at the same time, it's like I do also see that there's benefit to just playing him on game 5, seeing if the home ice advantage does something for him, and then if not, play Comrie for the next 2 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's,
I find it really interesting
mhm,
that during, like, playoffs with his actual team, he
mhm,
gets like this,
mhm,
but during something like the Four Nations,
mhm.
he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's like the stakes aren't, like, as high, even though you'd think that they would be,
Mhm.
like, higher.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody is already kind of immediately, like, panicking and is hitting the, like, panic button and is, like, dooming already. And I get it. Honestly, I get it. I'm not, but I get it because when you start to see everything kind of shake down the way that it shook down last year in almost exactly like the same pattern, like, it's hard not to be like, "Oh my god, it's all over." But, like, for me, I'm like, "Well, it's not over till it's over." Like, we are tied right now, we didn't want it wasn't like, in my opinion, it was never gonna be a sweep, and a lot of people did say Jets in 6, and so Jets in 6 means that they give up 2. Like, you can't have Jets in 6 and have them sweep, you know what I mean? Um, and so it's not over till it's over. It's Yes, it's tied and we didn't wanna be at this position, but we have the opportunity to break the tie at home, and they perform well at home. Um, And, like, for me, it's not gonna be over until game 7 or whatever, basically. Maybe I'm really naive, and maybe I'm still just a baby who's too new to sports and is not used to being let down by my team, but, like, I don't
At least you're
know.
not a Leafs fan.
Ottawa Senators reverse sweep. Please, please, please,
Let's
Shane
go Shane
Pinto.
Pinto.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna move on for a second, but yeah, the other teams are so insane to watch, but something that really pissed me off actually, speaking of Shane Pinto and speaking of not Shane Pinto, speaking of other teams, I don't know what he's just on my mind.
He's just on our mind.
He's just on my mind, I don't know. Speaking of other teams, so yeah, I was watching the freaking Washington and Montreal game yesterday. Oh my freaking god, that actually pissed me off. So, Washington's goalie, I don't like Washington. I will be the first to say I do not like Washington. I do not like a lot of their players. Y'all know that we do not like Ovechkin. Like, we do not stand Washington whatsoever. But their goalie got, like, super injured. Like, he, like, got a stick, like, right to the neck, and I think he got, like, his knee collided with another person's knee or something like that, I don't know. Like, it was a neck thing and it was a knee thingy. And he was like he couldn't stand, and he needed, like, big help getting off the ice. And even when he, like, did, like, manage to stand, like, he wobbled, like, he looked very out of it, and it was very sad. So this game is happening in the Montreal house and in Place Belle, and literally this literally pissed me off because literally everybody is, like, booing him. Literally actually ruined like, it actually shocked me to my core, and, like, the people like, he was, like, getting let out of the like, through the tunnel, like, the Washington tunnel, and, like, the people who were closest to the tunnel were, like, smacking at the glass and, like, thumbs downing him or, like, flipping him off and stuff, and I was like, "You guys are actually like, that's actually not okay." Like, injured players are off limits. Like, I don't care if it's the playoffs, I don't care that tensions are high right now, like, injured players are always off limits. Like, I don't even care even if it was Ovechkin, like, injured
Yeah.
players are always off limits, like, that's not okay. So, anyways, but yeah, it's been a trip watching other games. Like, again, I haven't paid attention to any of these teams out in the regular season, but, like, because there were so few playoff games, I'm just like, "Whatever, I'll catch them all." And, like, it's actually a trip, like, I'm actually so shook. Like, I really thought that Edmonton was like, I don't like Edmonton, but I thought that they were kinda good at least, but they look really I
'Cause
watched
aren't they
McDavid.
missing
I
people or no?
I
Did
think
they have
so? I'm
everybody
actually not
back?
sure. I know that they got rid of their, like, goalie, like, they've started their backup goalie twice now.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm like I like watching I just watched the Oilers and I'm like, "This is the team that McDavid is on?" I'm like, "This is your guys' king?" Vegas downfall, we'd love to see it. Honestly, truly did not expect that. Like, I put them as winning in my bracket, but like I didn't like it. Like most of these choices that I put in my bracket, like I didn't like. I was just like logically in my mind, this is what makes sense. So, we love to see Minnesota absolutely blowing them out of the water. That makes me happy. I feel like I guess like Winnipeg isn't an exception because like a lot of teams that have performed well in the regular season have been kind of not really looking great in the playoffs, and so I guess it's making me feel a little bit better. And it's also like a lot of like the first like 2 games, a lot of teams were like in the lead. Like as of right now, like a lot of teams are leading 2-1.
Yeah.
And I think it's just natural. Like people are gonna get tired. Like I think it's just natural for like game 3 and 4 for the other team to kind of like start doing better just because the team
Especially
who is
playing the same teams, like, back to
exactly.
back. You're gonna
Totally.
get their, like, little tactics and their little tricks and stuff that they do.
Exactly. And like if you're leading by 2, like, like, people get tired, like, it just makes sense for the team that was behind to start kind of fighting back a bit because, like,
Mhm.
it makes sense for there to be momentum shift. So, like, I'm not super duper worried. We could be in a worse off spot, but, like, we could be, like, Toronto expecting a total sweep and then getting absolutely, like, um so I hope that the Sens pull through and have a reverse sweep because that will be really good comedic wise. And Shane Pinto
Go
Wise.
Shane Pinto.
We love to see him succeed. But yeah, it's crazy out here, gang. Like truly, I literally don't know. Like
There's
again,
too much going on.
there's so much going on and like a lot of my predictions are like not happening. Well, I don't know. Like it's still early to
A
say,
lot of them are
but
tied.
like
When I pulled it up,
mhm.
most of the series are actually tied.
Yeah, so I'm not feeling too bad, but and again, like I would be feeling worse if we weren't going immediately like back home. But like
Mhm.
they play really good when they're surrounded by the whiteout. So we'll see. Um moving on from the NHL though. Um just touching on a little bit because there's a fun little announcement happening on Wednesday that I'm sure we could just dedicate an entire episode to. First of all, the PWHL, they took a break because they had the Women's World Champions, and so they were gone for, like, 3 weeks, but they're back now, and, already, like, teams are starting to, like there's only, like, 3 or 4 games left in this season,
It's crazy.
so, playoff teams are already, you know, being chosen and whatever. The Sirens are eliminated, but that's okay. You kinda knew that they would be. They would have needed to win, like, all of the rest of their games of the season for them to keep make to, like, to make it, but anyways, we just got the news last week that Vancouver is getting a PWHL team. Literally so exciting. Guys, this has been my dream. Well, obviously Winnipeg is my dream, but I knew that they wouldn't come here for a while. So until Winnipeg gets a team, like my dream was to get a Vancouver team, and it has finally happened. So they just announced it on Wednesday, and then they also announced that that Climate Pledge has a press conference this coming Wednesday, and so April 30th. And so I wonder what that's gonna be about. Hmm. So Vancouver doesn't have a name yet, but we have confirmed colors, Pacific blue and cream, and like a temporary logo, which I'll put in post right here.
Honestly, we
Um,
love the merch.
yeah,
We
honestly,
already love the
it's
merch.
super cute. I really want to get it, but like I kind of want to like it would be cute to have like oh inaugural team
Inaugural merch.
merch, but like I also kind of I want to wait to see what their logo is. 'Cause I don't know, I have a feeling it'd be super cute, but I don't know.
Mhm.
But people are already trying to, like, theorize or, like, come up with, like, team names, and same with Seattle, so it'll be a fun old time. So that means we have 2 new teams coming to the league next year. So 8 teams, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
It's gonna
And
be very interesting
totally.
and
And
it's gonna change the whole dynamic of
yes,
everything.
we'll go into it. I only have a couple of minutes left, so we're
Yeah.
actually gonna go into it once we especially, like, once we film the next episode, like, the Seattle announcement will have happened already.
Yeah.
So we'll go in we'll dedicate an entire episode to that because we gotta talk about the potential expansion draft and
And how that's gonna work
how
and
that's
all
gonna
the
shake down. So that's kind of spooky, actually. I'm a little bit nervous,
Mhm.
but we'll touch on that later. But like in the meantime, yeah, big things are happening in the PWHL. Like 2 new teams is crazy. Like
It's crazy.
it's so fast. Like they're just in their second season right now, and so having a whole 2 new teams is crazy. But I'm super excited, and I think that I'm gonna like we'll see. Because since Vancouver was my big dream, like, I feel like I'm gonna have to drop one of my teams to go move over there,
What you gonna
but
drop?
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what players they get.
True,
We'll see
yeah.
what their name and their logo is. I feel like even if they have a shitty name and logo, I might still cheer for them, but we'll see. I think that you should cheer for Seattle. I feel like it would be so easy for you to just do that.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what their name and logo and who they
We'll
snatch
see.
up.
I'm also like in F1, like I'm very much like I have my top team, but I also
Mhm.
cheer for like
So
the
true.
masses. So
Mhm.
it might just become that.
So true. Yeah, because 'cause I'm just like, "Hey, if we ever visit Seattle, we could just go to the Climate Pledge and boom, Kraken and PWHL Seattle,
There we go.
like, double feature."
Yeah, we'll just make sure it's when the Kraken and the Sharks play.
Oh my god.
And then we'll get hit it up when the roller derby's in town.
Gotta catch that Rat City Roller Derby League.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's good to be back. Um, we've asked you guys some questions, and we're thinking of not dedicating, like, an entire episode to that, but just, like, kind of sprinkling in answers, like, over the course of the episodes or whatever.
Unless you
Um,
guys disagree, comment down below.
yeah, let us know if you hate that idea and think it sucks, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or if you ever have any other questions about things you want us to cover,
Mhm,
send us a message, comment
totally.
it, and we'll yeah.
And we'll address it. Yeah, you don't have to wait till we have a specific Q&A thing. You can let us know anytime.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's it for now. It's good to be back. And thank you for joining us from the
From the
box.
box.
And what box will we be in next?
The press box?
The box?
The dice box? I don't know. Roll
Roll
for
for
it.
it.